Erev Tov, please rise for Hatikva, followed by the national anthem. Thank you.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our
חסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך.
קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך.
במקלי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לי שתי מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא.
במקלי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לשתי מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא.
Welcome to SAR's 47th anniversary dinner. My name is Jill Green, and along with my husband Arthur and our co-chairs Adina and David Rosen, I'm honored to be celebrating with you here tonight.
It is so fitting that Parshat Yitro, in which the Jewish people receive their Aseret HaDibrot, should coincide with tonight's dinner. In Shir HaShirim Rabbah, Hashem says to Bnei Yisrael, "Present to me good guarantors that you will observe and study the Torah, and I shall give it to you." After Hashem turns down the Israelites' initial 2 offerings of our ancestors and prophets, he accepts the 3rd offer when Israel states, "Indeed, Our children will be our guarantors. Whether in Eretz Yisrael, on the streets of New York, or college campuses, we are living in challenging times when being a Jew is not easy. But in spite of this, each one of you has continued this guarantee made by Bnei Yisrael as they stood at the foot of Har Sinai. Your commitment to support SAR helps create learning opportunities for those families who value a Jewish education. This is a school that teaches love of learning, Yiddishkeit, and Eretz Yisrael. Without you, it could not happen. A defining characteristic of SAR is that our 1,400 students are from many different backgrounds. A founding principle of the school is that no child or family is turned away due to financial need. Our children, the guarantors of the gift of Torah, are undeniably our future. Observing the many successes of our current students, as well as those who have left the hive, we see that the strength of our Kalal is in our ability to provide a quality Jewish education to our children. We could not do it without you. The commitment of our families is what allows us to deliver this education, as well as providing a secure home away from home for our children. This becomes more evident as we honor some very special people from our community.
Tonight, we recognize the following individuals for their efforts on behalf of SAR. Our guests of honor are Karen and Mitchell Kuflick. Our Michael Shrek Memorial Community Service Award honoree is Sarah Zitter-Milstein. Our Audrey Shergan Memorial Faculty Award honoree is Seema Hershaft. We'll hear more about their extraordinary contributions to SAR during the program. While tonight we pay tribute to this esteemed group of individuals, it is each of you who we thank as well. You're part of the over 800 gifts and the reason tonight's dinner has sold out. You contribute your time, energy, and resources to make SAR the amazing place that it is. We celebrate your part in our success, having raised approximately $3.6 million for the SAR Fund. We gratefully recognize those 80 families who joined our annual major giving program, the Guardian Circle. We thank you for your generosity and for making SAR a tzedakah priority. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Thank you very much, Arthur and Jill, Adina and David. Thank you for all that you have done to get us to tonight. We appreciate your efforts. Thank you to our incredible staff at the Development Office, to Heidi Greenbaum, Heidi Kane, Sarah Hassan, Rachel Spinner. We know what you do each and every day, especially over the last few months, to make sure that tonight was a success. We are honored by the many community leaders who are here tonight with us: Rabbi Yaakov Bienenfeld, Rabbi Shmuel Hain, Rabbi Shmuel Greenberg, Rabbi Yitzi Genak, Rabbi Asher Lopatin, Rabbi Tomer Ronen, Rabbi Jeff Kobrin, Rabbi Moshe Rosenberg, Rabbi Sarah Hurwitz, Rabbi Levi Shem Tov, Rosh Kehillah Dina Nyman, Rabbi Alan Schwartz, Rabbi Yehuda Hasarna, Rabbi Noam Silverman, Rabbi David Silber. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate it. At SAR Academy this year, we have chosen the theme of V'yasita hayashar v'hatov, you shall do what is right and what is good, as our theme of the year. We are trying to teach our kids about character, about the way we carry ourselves and how that is so central to our lives as human beings, and as Jews. The sub-theme of this month, of the month of Shvat, is anava, humility, also talking a lot about sportsmanship. At first glance, it may seem that humility is not the best way to characterize the events of Matan Torah, the events at Har Sinai that we read about this morning. Har Sinai was Ashan Kulo, was full of smoke. The sound of the shofar was Holech v'chazek ba'od. It was incredibly strong, so much so that Vayar ha'am vayanu, the people who were there, trembled from the experience. The majesty of the Har Sinai experience was something that forced an entire nation to tremble, something that, according to the Ramban, was so powerful that we were commanded to remember it every day. The receiving of the Torah was no modest event. It was public, it was loud, it was big, and it was beautiful. The Pasuk in Mishlei, reflecting on the theme, tells us, V'lifnei kavod anava. Before honor comes humility. Modesty is a prerequisite for honor. Modesty is something that is often misunderstood, or at least, I believe, incorrectly applied. Because sometimes modesty can train us to underestimate the power that we have, and may lead us to think that each individual is limited in what he or she can offer the world. If we only remember the maxim of Va'anochi afar va'efer, I am just dust of the earth, it is hard to believe that bishvili nivra ha'olam. For me, the world was created. But in reality, it is this balance that we are tasked with finding and maintaining. Modesty is a prerequisite for true Kabbalat Torah. When we recognize the unique gifts that each person has, when we cultivate our talents and passions and work hard to strengthen them, and we remember that those talents can be used to make the world better and to bring comfort to others, we are ready for Matan Torah. When we recognize that the gifts that we have are something to be thankful for and to be giving with, then we are ready not only for the giving of the Torah, but for the term that we prefer to use, Kabbalat Torah. We are ready for the belief and the confidence that that Torah will be actually received and internalized. Moshe Rabbeinu is described as Anav Ma'od Mikol Ha'adam. The person who is at the center of today's experience was also the most humble. Moshe Nigash al Ha'arafel. Moshe's ability to enter that place that was gray, where he stepped aside and allowed the glory of Kabbalat Torah to be seen, is representation of that balance that we believe we need to strive for, and that I believe characterizes the community of SAR. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our lay leadership, a group of people tireless in their contributions of time, thought, and resources, providing wisdom and guidance, and also really and truly living that midah of anava, that midah of humility, which allows the people around them to do their work and to allow this place to be successful. Thank you very much. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the administration and the faculty of SAR Academy, whom I am blessed and privileged to work with each and every day, for coming into school, for teaching children, for believing in kids, and for making SAR what it is. Thank you very, very much. Special thank you tonight. You might know that this Thursday at SAR Academy, we're going to be inaugurating our new gym and sixth grade classrooms, 34,000 square feet of new space, built by Nick Fada and his team in their spare time. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. While these past few weeks and months in our own community and beyond have been unfortunately characterized by a reinforcement of the fragility of life, where we were reminded against our will of the notion of Va'anochi Afar Va'efer, of how lives can be shattered in a brief moment. We take a moment tonight to remember the family, to remember our past PTC co-president, Robin Goldman, Zichron Livracha, who was so missed tonight. We pause for a moment to remember Yehuda Beim, Zichron Livracha, an SAR alumnus in whose honor we were privileged together with the Beim family to dedicate a space at SAR in his memory just this past Wednesday night. And just yesterday, with the loss of Mrs. Lillian Levine, who managed the office and teachers' room of SAR for decades and tended to generations of children with love. Tonight is a night that we can truly remember and reinforce Va'anochi Afar Va'efer. At the same time, we stand here tonight to remember and reinforce Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam. The world was created for us. The world was created for our children. And together, we can use those talents that we have in modest ways that I believe are characterized by each and every one of our honorees. Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam. Let us celebrate life, and let us remember that our children are our future. Thank you. When Sarah Zir Milstein's family joined SAR, she quickly became one of our most active volunteers. As many, if not all of you know, Learning to Look is one of our most beloved and successful programs based entirely on parent and grandparent volunteers. But it does not just happen. I know it can be difficult to find the time to teach the classes, let alone prepare. Sarah has not only taught and prepared for them, but she also prepares the lessons and projects for all of the other volunteers and students, as she has been co-chairing the program for the past 5 years. It can often be an underappreciated job, especially when trying to recruit newcomers or coordinate museum trips between the 100 faculty and 600 students participating. But Sarah is able to see beyond any challenges and know that the beauty and the art that she is helping our students experience is helping them to make the world a more beautiful place. Helping our students learn to look at their surroundings and find what is meaningful and good is one of the greatest contributions towards V'asita hayashar v'hatov. When you can see what is right and good, you can learn to do what is right and good. Caring for our community was on Michael Shrek's radar at all times. Sarah takes sincere initiatives in helping us foster a more welcoming community for all of our families, especially as those that live beyond our Riverdale address. In 2010, she began reaching out to those living in Manhattan in an effort to bring together the many SAR families spread across the city, coordinating informal gatherings for parents and children to connect. She also participates in the ELC Mentor Family Program, the Book Fair, the Chesed Tent, and serves as a parent ambassador for SAR's open house. Basically, she spends a lot of time at SAR. We are extraordinarily grateful to Sarah and her husband Stuart and their children Joshua, Eitan, Matthew, and Ella, all part of the SAR community, for her exceptional contributions, and we are proud to present her with the Michael Shrek Community Service Award. Thank you.
A wonderful evening like this, the moon is as big as a silver balloon. Even the birdies are singing in tune on a wonderful evening like this. On an evening like this, I could kiss everybody. I'm so good.
Oh, I gotta hug this. Thank you. Okay, I didn't fall yet. Great. Wow. Thank you so much, Rabbi Krause. There you are. That was really unbelievable. I am so grateful for this recognition and honored to share this evening with Karen and Mitchell Kuflick and Sima Hershoft, who really embody SAR at its finest. A few days ago, I had the wonderful opportunity to speak with Vera Shrek, Michael Shrek's wife, and more directly appreciate how what he stood for and worked for has laid the foundation for the caring community that is the hallmark of SAR today. So it is even more meaningful to me tonight to shine a light on the efforts of many hundreds of volunteers, parents, grandparents, friends, who are part of Learning to Look, and the many other ways that volunteers contribute significantly, impacting the school, working tirelessly and often quietly to make the school community around SAR the special place that it is. Thank you to my incredible extended family, and in particular to my parents, Hillary and Bob Zitter, and my in-laws, Judy and Albert Milstein, whose love knows no limits. And I am so happy to see your nachas tonight. And to my amazing husband, Stuart, whose strength and whose strength and clarity always keeps me anchored. How lucky I am. And to our children, Joshua, Eitan, Matthew, and Ella, I am unbelievably proud of each of you in your own style and the people you are becoming. In our tefillot, every Shabbat morning, we say, V'chol mi she'oskim b'tzarchei tzibur ve'emunah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishalem secharam. All those who are involved faithfully in the needs of the community, may Hashem reward them. And we end with V'yishlach baracha v'hatzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yidehem. And may He send blessings and success for all of the work of their hands. May Hashem continue to bless our wonderful community and the many dedicated people who are so instrumental to its success. Thank you.
Sima, when I came into SAR during the days of the summer, one of the things that was amazing to me, aside from the fact that there was a lot of dust in the building because Nick was jackhammering a mountain, was the fact that you were pretty much always there. And to see the commitment that you had and that you have for the work that you do and for the children that you teach. A heroism that is represented by what you do, not by the big moments, but by the every single day, and by your commitment to that routine is something that we can all learn from. As a parent and a teacher, you've been involved with the SAR community for many, many years. Quiet and humble, expecting our students to respect their classroom community. You are a giant in your profession, allowing each student to recognize their enormous potentials. You make your students feel safe, comfortable, and confident, all the while expecting excellence from them. As one colleague commented to me privately, we talk a lot about growth mindset in school. I always think of Sima as someone who, in her efforts to meet the needs of each child, is able to naturally encourage each one to alter their growth mindset to reach his or her potential. She does it all with grace, humility, and kindness. At the same time, she pushes each kid to the max. Her colleagues, when confronted with a difficult situation, can often be heard wondering, what would Sima do here? And she connects with other faculty in the same way as students, always ready to listen, and then, if asked, to offer practical and constructive advice. I know that so many people and so many colleagues feel that way. It is my absolute pleasure to present you with an award that bears Audrey Shergan's name. I knew Mrs. Shergan as my General Studies Administrator at SAR, but in my memories, many of the qualities that made her so special are qualities that you exude. Your love for matters Mrs. Shergan loved, your students, history, the environment, literature, are quietly imparted in big ways to us all. Mazal Tov Sima, to Daniel, Jamie, Nathan, and Ellie, it is our honor to present Sima with the Audrey Shergan Memorial Faculty Award tonight. Thank you.
in good old colony times, when we lived under the king, 3 roguish chaps fell into mishaps because they could not sing.
Thank you very much. That was so beautiful. The video made me cry. Rabbi Krause, thank you. Your words were very beautiful. I was asked not to spend a lot of time thanking people, so I didn't write any of that, but thank you so much to the administration and for your guidance, and to Beth Pepper and my fellow teammates in the 4th grade and my family who've joined me this weekend. You all mean so much to me. I'm also so grateful and humbled to be here tonight and honored alongside Mitch and Karen Kuflick, my dear friends, and Sarah. In the opening verse of today's Parsha, Yitro heard. Rashi asks, what did he hear that caused him to come? The idea born from this Rashi is that Yitro was not the only one in the world who heard what happened to the Jewish people. Rather, he was the only one who heard and acted, took the message to heart, and put it to use. It must seem fitting to talk about hearing at SAR. In SAR, in our open environment, we hear everything that is going on in the classrooms around us. All day and every day, we are surrounded by the sounds of joyous laughter, spiritual prayer, intensely thoughtful discussions, and notes of songs in celebration. Every day we pause to listen, and like Yitro, we are inspired to act. At SAR, we are blessed to hear our children putting into practice the teachings and wisdom of their administrators, teachers, parents, and rabbis. They are internalizing the messages they hear. How do we know? It's simple. On Hanukkah, Pesach, and Shavuot, during cross-grade learning, we hear older children patiently teaching their younger peers. Then there's a Power of Words Day, when we hear children of all ages, and their teachers too, reflect on the impact of their own speech, wondering how their kind words can lift up others. Daily in the classroom, we hear one child ask another if they need help with their work or just getting through a tough day. From an adjacent class, we hear the words chazak, chazak, joyously proclaimed as students finish a book of Torah. On Erev Shabbat, just before the bell rings, we hear the children coming to their teachers to thank them for a week of learning. And finally, every morning, we are blessed to hear the unbelievably sweet, soulful sounds of children davening, and our own spirits are lifted higher and higher. So yes, there is a lot to hear at SAR, and our students are only one part of the community. We are all striving to put into action the words that we hear. I am so blessed to be part of a community of administrators, teachers, parents, and yes, students. A community that lives its mission, that brings Torah values to life, and that inspires its children to act on what they hear. So I thank you all for this incredible, incredible honor, and thank you for the opportunity just to be part of this wonderful SAR community.
When I was in 8th grade at the SAR open house, a distinguished-looking student at the podium
Opened his mouth, declaring that one word encompasses SAR.
openness.
Open through the windows and walls are science equations,
Gemara texts,
Theories jotted on glass, airborne.
illuminated by the sun, highlighting as the sun peaks the view.
and projected to our community of learners.
So much light.
Warmth.
Emanating from the hive-like swarms in the hallways, their faces visible through.
Every window, every wall.
Open to the ideas.
A diverse and vibrant culture.
Open your ears and listen. You might hear the whir of blenders mixing with Mozart's, calls for charity throughout the classrooms.
The marching pilgrimage of tired students to Dunkin' Donuts on Monday mornings.
The omnipresent hum of other classes.
Or the steady buzz of learning surrounding me.
On our open grade floors, you'll see the tidy sprawl of classrooms and students on the dark blue carpet.
Or Rabbi Hardstark sitting with 150 students at his feet for a conversation.
A hurricane of people fitting like puzzle pieces into their clubs, their classes, their friends.
A journey I've catapulted myself into, the excitement buzzing through me like I've had too much caffeine.
I probably have.
This brick and glass warehouse called SAR.
Here, we don't hide behind doors.
Our sounds are fluid, all are clued in on debates within rooms.
And there is always more room.
From Beit Midrash to library, a grand conversational journey.
The first day, I walked in shaking under a bag, popping at the seams from those heavy binders, textbooks,
iPads.
Not recognizing myself, not out of shell.
Just another freshman trying to find the annex.
14 years old. What did I know of such grandiose gestures? I could only conjecture as to how this all exactly played out.
Well, since I've been here, we've had 4 school themes.
One, Dveikuk, we open up vertically to what we can't perfectly understand.
Next came Anava, humility, and the ability to open out to hear others.
Last year at Tzedek, openness to a cause, openness to the flaws in our culture.
And now we land on our roots.
Opening ourselves to a community, considering connections with contemporaries, and how opening out can make us stronger.
We belong here. Our spectrum is longer.
Since the doors never closed.
We have opened the doors to Dorot, future past, open to learning what made them last.
Lest we cast aside new understandings.
Wherever you go in this permeable building upon which our whole world opens.
Just open the windows and put your ears to our walls of air.
Opening into our years of
open classrooms and open offices.
Where we open books with open eyes.
To engage our open school with open hearts.
Together we are standing.
Opening ourselves.
And our voices
to you.
Erev Tov. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight in celebration of our beloved SAR and in support of the SAR Scholarship Fund, which aids so many students in their quest to receive an outstanding Jewish education. I do want to take a moment to express Hakarat Tov, thanks to Deborah May and Deborah Ice of our business office for all of their efforts in making this evening happen. I also want to welcome Rabbi Ruvain Fink of the Young Israel of New Rochelle. So pleased to have you here this evening. This morning, we read of the Jewish people gathering at the foot of Har Sinai. There, at that great moment of divine revelation, the Jewish people was empowered by God with a message unprecedented in the history of humanity. Ve'atem tiyu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh. And you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. A kingdom of priests. The Almighty God, at the moment of his great revelation, did not focus on his own power. God used that moment, that power, to deliver a message of empowerment to his people. What it means to be chosen, to be a member of this special community, to be a part of the Jewish people, regardless of one's status, is to be a priest, to be a leader, to be responsible. It is not your job to just follow, God says, but to take responsibility for yourself, for those around you, for your community in the service of God. And we, as a people, have internalized this message well. Chaim Weizmann, the first president of the State of Israel, famously quipped, "I lead a nation of 1,000,000 presidents." It is a classic line, but one that belies the deep-seated truth of what it means to be a Jew. To be a Jew means to care, to be empowered, to stand up, to make a difference, all in the service of Hashem. I'd like to use this metaphor to express Hakarat HaTov to 2 groups of people. First, to the SAR Board of Trustees, led by Jack Bentheim, and the entire lay community of SAR, we are so grateful to you for your empowering leadership. Your vision and strength have opened a space that allows a remarkable team of educators to shape modern Orthodox education that is deep and inspiring, committed, and open. An SAR education provides students with the opportunity to discover their intellectual and spiritual selves, their strengths and their challenges, and the confidence to make a difference. At SAR, students learn to take their place as proud leaders, as members of a Mamlechet Kohanim, a kingdom of priests. And the key to SAR's success is its teachers. At SAR, kids spend their day with faculty, teachers, and administration, colleagues for which I feel tremendous privilege to spend days with, colleagues who love them, care for them, and think about them, as parents think about their own children. I want to take the opportunity to thank my colleagues, the amazing administration and staff of SAR High School, for their remarkable dedication, love, and passion. It is an honor to work with you each and every day. It is in that spirit that I'd like to introduce this evening's guests of honor. There is no irony in the fact that the greatest trait of the greatest leader of the Jewish people, of Moshe Rabbeinu, was that of humility. To be an empowering leader, to be a truthful leader, to be a leader who is strengthened by strengthening others. That is what it means to be Mamlechet, a member of the Mamlechet Kohanim B'Goy Kadosh, a kingdom of priests. Mitch and Karen, tonight's guests of honor, have many talents. They are so bright. They are remarkably successful in their respective fields. There is so much one can say about them. In theory, they could say so much about themselves. But ask anyone what is the most outstanding trait of this couple, and the answer is always the same. Their humility is unparalleled. I still remember the first time I met Mitch. It was at a pretty fancy gathering, and I asked the person next to me, who's the guy in the baseball cap? So that's Mitch Kuflick. So I went over to say hello, and Mitch said, "Hey, Mensch." This low-key man in the baseball cap who says, "Hey, Mensch," is the guy who has made such a difference in the lives of so many people and to life at SAR, and in the most discreet and unassuming fashion. And this is the trait of Mitch and his wonderful wife, Karen. And Karen, our wise Karen, how many SAR programs has Karen designed and planned? We would sit together around a table, and Karen would politely listen to our ideas. Are you done? Yes. And then she would get to work. She would drive a process with such creativity and such care. It is a lot of years now that SAR has been the beneficiary of Karen's amazingly creative spirit. Mitch, Karen, we know that being honored is not your thing. That is why it is such a joy to honor you. We are so grateful to you for all that you have done on behalf of the SAR community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call up tonight's guests of honor, Mitch and Karen Kuflick.
There's an idea that says people won't remember what you said, and people may not even remember what you did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And SAR has always made us feel like we were at home. I'll never forget the first time we walked into the building with no walls, and I turned to Karen and I said, "These are our people. This is where we belong. This is the right place for our family." We felt so much love and happiness and warmth and Kedusha. It's such a gift that our boys have the opportunity to be the first generation in our family to go to an Orthodox yeshiva. The fact that Manny, Nathan, and Simon can speak Hebrew fluently with Odelia, or that they can tackle any piece of Gemara, just blows my mind. It's absolutely unbelievable. Tonight, Karen and I are overwhelmed with gratitude to Hashem, to our families. Mom, thank you. Marilyn and Irving Saltz, who are in from Buffalo. My sister Lisa, the boys' favorite aunt. And also to all of you for all of your love and support during these last 7 years. Just wanted to add a special thank you to Daniel and Sima Hershoft, who have created a second home for our boys and have hosted them for countless Shabbosim. I won't embarrass you by enumerating all of your amazing midos and good deeds, but suffice it to say that you're a role model for our family. Also would like to thank Rabbi Hartstark, Rabbi Kraus, Rabbi Hain, Rabbi Moshe Mensch Dralik.
Yeah? And how about our rabbi?
No.
No?
Oh, and Jack Bentime.
Oh, yeah.
The Rosh Hashiva. For their inspirational leadership and friendship. And finally, I want to thank Rabbi Yaakov Bienenfeld and Fagi, who are truly the heart and soul of our shul, and the entire Young Israel of Harrison, without whom we literally wouldn't be here tonight. And most importantly, thank you to my Ashes Chayil. You are an amazing wife and such a good person, and thank you for working so hard to instill Torah values in our home.
First of all, I want to thank Manny, Nathan, and Simon for that creative and heartfelt tribute. I am going to replay that over and over again to remind myself that you like me. You really, really like me. So thank you. The fact that Manny and Nathan are graduating this spring and Simon is not far behind makes receiving the honor tonight very meaningful and extremely appreciated. So thank you. Now, who am I thinking next? I believe it's my husband. Oh. To my dear husband, Mitchell, who shares many, many noteworthy qualities with SAR. You're both open, warm, caring. You both are seekers of truth. You both pursue excellence in all that you do. You both are a little out of the box. You're a little unconventional, yet you're grounded in Torah. And you both leave stuff on the floor. To Heidi, where is she? To not only one of my dear, dear friends, to my hero. You're a hero of mine. And you made our transition to SAR seamless. You always checked in, how are we doing? And you kept us informed. And yes, you got me involved in your Heidi way. And I'm grateful for that. And you're an unbelievable director of development on many, many levels. And I love you. So when I knew I would be standing here in front of this big crowd and an esteemed crowd, I thought I've got to give over like a Devar Torah or something, and what am I going to say? So I started davening, and I looked in my prayer book, and it hit me when I saw the daily prayers. When we wake up in the morning and we say Modeh Ani, and when 3 times a day during Shemona Esrei we say Modim Anachnu Lach, the first word is Modeh or Modim. It's not Ani and it's not Anachnu. So that struck me and reminded me of the importance of gratitude. It comes before the person who's asking for it or giving it. So I just want to end on that and say that the emphasis should always be on thank you.
I want to share some important attendance numbers with you, although it's actually not about the numbers, but about tremendously meaningful beginnings and ends. I would like to acknowledge the 76 first-year SAR parents in attendance tonight and welcome you to this amazing community. I would also like to acknowledge the 35 young alumni of SAR High School here tonight who chose to spend the evening with us, and we are thrilled to have you here and thank you for joining us. And what a milestone for those 64 parents here tonight who have gone the distance with SAR and are now graduating their youngest child. We salute you as your children move on to post-SAR life, though we hope you stay involved and continue to support all that we do. The success of this night takes great organization, energy, commitment, and dedication. And yes, the volunteers and staff of this community have that in spades. Thank you to the vice chairs and their committees from Englewood, Debbie Stern-Blumenthal and Michael Blumenthal, Talia and David Spitzer, from Manhattan, Dahlia and Moshe Bellows, Rabia and Oliver Mitchell, Leslie and Gary Turkle, from New Rochelle, Stephanie and Shachar Minkov, Alana and Shami Minkov, from Riverdale, Valerie Altman and Daniel Perla, Ariel Groveman-Wiener and Joshua Wiener, from Scarsdale, Sharon Troy Freudenstein and Michael Freudenstein, Michelle and David Levine, from Stamford, Stephanie and Josh Belenker, Liat and Benjamin Karsh, from Teaneck Bergenfield, Leah and Jonathan Adler, Miriam and Gabriel Herman. From White Plains, Jamie and David Feit, Rena and Jason Rosen. To our amazing journal chairs, Judy Friedman, Sandra Greenstein, and their committee, Randy Carey, Toby Hames, Vicki Turek. To our catering chair, Karina Parker. To our decor chair, Marley Herskovici. To our gifts chair, Debbie Stern-Blumenthal, and to the SAR Administration and Development Team, Rabbi Benjamin Krause, Rabbi Tully Harkstark, Deborah May, Heidi Greenbaum, Heidi Kane, Sarah Hassan, Rachel Spinner, Shira Lerner Baratz, Deborah Ice, Sally Oceans, David Oceans, Tanisha Harris, to Nick Fada and his facilities team, including Robert Chalfie, to Andy Sandler and his technology team, to Yosef Frenkel and his security team, to our amazing music directors, Chazan Shim Kramer and Rabbi Kenny Birnbaum, and thank you finally to Benji Hain and Yoram Roshwalb for their special appearances in the Academy and high school videos.
Our thanks don't just end with the people that Adina just mentioned. What we've accomplished through the campaign is truly awesome. We extend a heartfelt Hakarat HaTov to the 800 plus families and community members who have enabled all students to learn at SAR and experience the joy, spirit, and pride of what it means to be part of a community that cares about every student. Thank you to each of you here tonight for saying yes and showing your support through your actions.
I stand between you and dessert. It'll be quick. Tonight we celebrate the wonderful people who have come together to make SAR the exceptional school it is. Our achievements are the result of the shared efforts of our excellent faculty and staff and of all the families that comprise the SAR constellation. Together we work hard to make sure that every child who comes to SAR will receive the caring and creative education she or he deserves. Our school has grown over the years, benefiting from the ongoing support of the community. It was a thrill to know that my granddaughter's Siddur play, I was skiing, I didn't see it, last Thursday, there was an alumni photo of 14 graduates of SAR whose children were receiving Siddurim. Our students return with their own children because they love SAR and want to ensure that their children benefit from the warmth and beauty of what SAR has to offer. The generosity of all of you here tonight is what makes that special experience happen. Thank you to all of you for participating in this unique and gratifying joint enterprise, and Mazel Tov on our 47th anniversary. Thank you.